Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, a channel dedicated to helping you cultivate a richer, more fulfilling life, both inside and out. In today's video, we're exploring the profound wisdom of Buddhist teachings on how to become truly unbothered, unshakable in the face of life's inevitable challenges. We'll delve into practical strategies for protecting your energy, detaching from chaos, and responding to life with clarity and control. This is about building a mindset that allows you to navigate the complexities of the modern world with grace, resilience, and an unwavering sense of inner peace. So, if you're ready to unlock a new level of freedom and serenity, stick around. Oh, and by the way, if you like what you hear and want more content like this, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you insights that empower you to live a more meaningful life. Imagine being so mentally untouchable that no insult, no setback, no chaos could shake your peace. Picture a state where people try to provoke you and fail, where your silence speaks louder than their noise, and where your calm is your greatest form of power. This isn't some far-off fantasy, it's a skill, a discipline, and a Buddhist way of living that's within your reach. Today, we're going to unpack a mindset that frees you from overreacting, overthinking, and over-explaining. We'll learn how to protect your precious energy, gracefully detach from chaos, and respond to life with unwavering clarity and control. The goal is simple, yet profound: to become the master of your own inner world. The world may never stop testing you, but you can stop being affected by it. Not everything deserves your energy in this life. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every comment deserves a response, and certainly not every person is meant to be understood, defended against, or explained to. Buddhism teaches us a profound and often overlooked truth: your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy is sacred, nothing less than your life force. Wasting it on things that don't truly matter only pulls you further from your path. Think of your energy like precious water in a vessel. If you keep pouring it into meaningless arguments, toxic relationships, or worries about things entirely outside your control, soon there will be nothing left for the things that truly matter: your personal growth, your inner peace, and your unique purpose. So, if this sounds like the kind of channel you want to be a part of, please click that like and subscribe button. Gossip is just noise, pure and simple. Grudges? They poison your heart and soul. Constantly checking who said what about you is nothing more than an emotional trap. These things weigh you down like invisible rocks in your backpack, making every step in your journey heavier than it needs to be. Before you give your attention or reaction to something, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this truly worth my peace? Will this help me grow as a person, or will it merely drain me of my precious energy? Is this particular engagement aligned with the person I aspire to become? When you start asking yourself these crucial questions, you begin to choose your battles with greater clarity and intention. You no longer get pulled into every petty drama or every fleeting distraction. Instead, you rise above them, conserving your energy for what truly nourishes your soul. Buddhism isn't about being cold or detached from life, it's about being wise and discerning with your energy. It's knowing, deep down, when to engage fully and when to gracefully walk away without a shred of guilt. When you learn to protect your peace like the most valuable treasure, you'll notice something truly transformative: the less you react to nonsense, the more powerful you inherently become. The key is to consciously choose calm over chaos, to choose peace over the fleeting satisfaction of proving your point, and to choose progress over pettiness. The simple truth is that not everything deserves your precious energy, and when you finally accept this, you'll step into a whole new level of profound freedom. One of the greatest sources of anxiety in our lives is the constant craving for approval from others. We desperately want to be liked, praised, seen as successful, intelligent, kind, and attractive. But in Buddhism, we are gently reminded of a liberating truth: real and lasting peace comes not from how the world perceives you, but from how you perceive yourself. When your sense of worth is tied to external opinions, you become like a leaf in the wind, tossed in every direction depending on the latest fleeting comment or trend. One compliment lifts you to the heavens, one criticism tears you down to the depths. You are no longer living for yourself, you're merely performing for an audience that is constantly changing its tastes. Internal validation, on the other hand, is different. It's quiet, it doesn't shout or demand recognition. It comes from knowing, deep within, who you truly are, what you truly value, and what path you are deliberately walking. It's the quiet ability to say, I am genuinely proud of how I handled that situation, or I showed up with honesty and kindness, and that, in itself, is enough. The Buddha never sought applause, he lived in truth, and that truth was its own immeasurable reward. Similarly, when you align your actions with your core values, compassion, integrity, mindfulness, you no longer need others to tell you that you're doing well. You know it in your heart, and that's all that truly matters. So, if you like these ideas, please subscribe to continue receiving these teachings. So, how do you build and nurture this internal validation? You reflect, you meditate, and you journal. At the end of each day, don't ask yourself, did they like me? Instead, ask, did I act with wisdom? Did I stay true to myself? Did I grow, even a little? The more you consistently practice this, the less you'll chase those fleeting external rewards, the likes, the compliments, the praise. They'll still feel nice, of course, but they won't define you. And the inevitable criticism? It won't destroy you, because your foundation is rooted in deep self-knowledge. When you start validating yourself from within, something truly amazing happens. You stop needing the world's permission to feel good about who you are. You stop performing and start simply living, and that, my friends, is real freedom. That is where unshakable peace truly begins. Life is full of unexpected moments that can trigger us in profound ways. An insult you didn't see coming, a comment that rubs you the wrong way, a situation that instantly triggers frustration, anger, or fear. Most people react automatically, like a reflex. Someone says something rude, and they snap back defensively. A problem arises, and they immediately panic. But in Buddhism, there is a higher, more conscious way: don't react, respond. What exactly is the difference? A reaction is immediate, driven by pure emotion rather than wisdom. It's often defensive, impulsive, and based on fear or ego. A response, on the other hand, is conscious and deliberate. It creates space, a buffer if you will, between what happened and how you choose to deal with it. The Buddha taught that between stimulus and response, there is a sacred pause, a gap where you can choose how to act. And in that pause lies your power, a power we all possess, but often forget to access. Most suffering in life comes from losing that pause and allowing your emotions to drive the entire wheel. Now, let's say someone insults you. A reaction would be to yell back, defend yourself, or take it personally as a direct attack on your character. But a response would be to breathe, to observe the feeling rising within you, and to ask yourself, is this really about me, or is this person simply suffering in their own way? Will replying with anger truly serve me, or will silence speak louder and preserve my peace? That moment of reflection, however brief, changes everything. It doesn't mean you suppress your feelings, but rather that you observe them without becoming them. You don't let your emotions hijack your mind and dictate your actions. Training yourself to respond rather than react takes consistent practice, and it begins with simple mindfulness. Every time you feel triggered, just take one conscious breath. Even a single, deliberate breath creates enough space to anchor your awareness in the present moment. That pause is where you remember your values, your inner peace, and your ultimate purpose. From there, you can respond in a way that protects your inner calm and honors your higher self. The truth is, most situations don't actually need your immediate reaction, they need your stillness, your ability to stay calm and centered when others are losing their control. This is a profound form of wisdom, and that wisdom can de-escalate tension, preserve your energy, and maintain your dignity in even the most challenging circumstances. And remember, if you find these teachings worthwhile, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future uploads. When you master this principle, you'll stop being a puppet pulled by the strings of your emotions, and you'll become the one who leads the moment, not the one dragged along by it. So, the next time life throws a trigger your way, don't just react. Pause, breathe, respond with clarity, not chaos. And in that space, you'll find a peace that the world simply cannot take away. One of the deepest sources of suffering for many people is the desire to be fully understood by others. You want people to truly know your heart, to see your intentions, your pain, and your reasons for doing what you do. But in Buddhism, we learn that clinging to this need for validation and understanding can trap you in unnecessary frustration and emotional turmoil. Here's the truth: not everyone will understand you, and not everyone is meant to. People see the world through their own unique filters, shaped by their wounds, their beliefs, and their ingrained assumptions. Even when you speak your truth with utmost clarity and sincerity, someone else might still twist it, reject it, or ignore it entirely. And when you attach your inner peace to whether or not someone understands you, you inadvertently give them power over your emotional state. You become a prisoner of their perception. You try harder to explain, to prove, to justify. You replay conversations endlessly in your mind, wondering what you could have said differently to make them finally get it. But all of that is ultimately a distraction from your true path. Buddhism teaches us to release attachments, and one of the most powerful attachments to let go of is the attachment to being seen accurately by others. Letting go doesn't mean you stop communicating or caring, it simply means you stop suffering when others don't get it. You understand that your peace doesn't depend on their approval. You stop needing to prove yourself, and you stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Here's a simple yet profoundly freeing truth: you know your heart, you know your intentions, and you know your path. That, in the end, is enough. When you let go of the need to be understood, you step into a beautiful kind of freedom. You stop chasing external clarity and start cultivating deep internal clarity. You begin living more authentically, without feeling the need to constantly edit yourself for others' comfort. Practice this: when someone misunderstands you, don't rush to fix it immediately. Instead, ask yourself, do I really need to be understood by this particular person in order to live in peace? Most of the time, the answer will be a resounding no. Smile, breathe, wish them well, and keep moving forward. This detachment is not coldness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that the right people, the ones who truly see you, won't need endless explanations. And the ones who refuse to see you clearly? No explanation will ever be enough. So, free yourself. Live in your truth, let your actions speak louder than your words, and remember that lasting peace doesn't come from being understood, it comes from understanding yourself. Remember, this channel is designed to serve you in your journey through life, so please press the like button and subscribe. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience. You're human, you will feel hurt, angry, disappointed, frustrated, even heartbroken at times. Buddhism doesn't ask you to deny or suppress these feelings. Instead, it offers you a deeper path, to feel them fully without becoming consumed by them. This is the art of emotional detachment, a form of inner mastery that allows you to experience life with openness while keeping your inner peace intact. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean apathy or indifference. It means you learn to observe your emotions rather than being controlled by them, like watching a river flow. You see the emotion, you recognize it, but you do not jump in and get swept away by the current. This is the essence of Buddhist mindfulness, being present with your emotions without identifying with them. For example, when someone says something hurtful, your first instinct may be to feel anger or pain. But if you've trained your mind through mindfulness, you'll notice that emotion arises like a wave, and instead of immediately reacting or internalizing it, you create space. You might even say to yourself, "This is anger. I see it, I feel it, but I am not it." That space between feeling and reaction is where your power is born. This practice is especially helpful in relationships, when people disappoint you, misunderstand you, or even betray you. Emotional detachment gives you the clarity to respond with wisdom rather than hurt. It allows you to care deeply without clinging, to love but not lose yourself, to let go without collapsing. In Buddhism, attachment is considered a root cause of suffering. When you cling to emotions, holding on to joy, resisting sadness, obsessing over someone's words, you create mental tension. But when you observe emotions like clouds passing through the sky, you learn that they are impermanent. They come and go. No emotion, no matter how intense, is final. Training emotional detachment takes daily practice. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools. Sit quietly, focus on your breath, and when a feeling arises, don't fight it. Just label it: this is sadness. This is anxiety. This is craving. You'll notice that simply naming the emotion helps to neutralize its grip on you. Over time, you'll develop an inner stillness that remains untouched even in the stormiest emotional weather. Detachment also means not making your identity dependent on how you feel. You are not your emotions, you are the awareness behind them. That simple realization can transform how you move through life. Emotional detachment isn't about being distant, it's about being deeply connected to yourself first. When you know how to center your own energy, you stop expecting others to do it for you. You stop needing constant reassurance, because you've built a sanctuary within. So, the next time your emotions feel overwhelming, take a breath. Remind yourself, this is a moment. It will pass. I don't need to hold on, I can feel and still let go. And if this is valuable to you, please subscribe to continue learning from Wisdom and Wealth. When you master the art of emotional detachment, you become calm without being cold, strong without being rigid, and compassionate without being consumed. That's true freedom, that's unshakable peace. One of the most life-changing lessons in Buddhism, and in personal growth as a whole, is this: your peace is not anyone else's job, it is yours. This may seem simple, but it's incredibly powerful, because for most of our lives, we've been conditioned to believe the opposite. We think we'll feel at peace when other people treat us right, when situations go our way, when the world aligns with our expectations. But this belief puts your inner world into the hands of forces you can't control. Buddhism turns this belief inside out. It teaches you that the path to freedom begins when you stop outsourcing your peace and take full ownership of your mental state. Peace is not something to wait for, it's something you create, moment by moment, thought by thought, breath by breath. Think about it: if your peace depends on someone else never upsetting you, you've already given them the power to control your mood. If your calm depends on everything going exactly as planned, you'll be disturbed by even the smallest inconvenience. But if you begin to see peace as your inner discipline, something you build and protect like a sacred garden, then no one and nothing can steal it from you. So, how do you start taking responsibility for your peace? First, by understanding that peace is a daily practice, not a one-time achievement. It's not something you get once and keep forever, it's something you return to over and over, especially when life feels chaotic. You choose it, like a warrior chooses stillness before battle. Begin each day with intention. Even 5 minutes of silent meditation can set the tone for how you respond to life. During that silence, tell yourself, I will not hand over my peace today. I will not give the keys to my mind to anyone else. This quiet commitment becomes your anchor. Second, protect your mental environment. Just like you wouldn't let someone throw trash into your home, don't let toxic conversations, unnecessary drama, or negative news pollute your inner space. Learn to say no without guilt. Learn to step back when something disturbs your equilibrium. This isn't avoidance, it's wisdom. It's you saying, my peace matters more than this momentary distraction. If you agree, please subscribe to see more content like this. Third, take full accountability for your emotional reactions. When you feel irritated, hurt, or angry, don't look for someone to blame. Instead, ask, what is this reaction trying to teach me? Where am I still holding on to pain or expectation? This is radical ownership. It's not easy, but it's where true strength lies, because once you stop blaming others for your emotional state, you reclaim the power to shift it. Remember, even the Buddha was surrounded by chaos, insults, and betrayal, but he remained centered, not because the world around him was peaceful, but because he had trained his mind to be peaceful within. This doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent, it means you become intentional. You act from a place of calm clarity instead of emotional chaos. You speak from love, not from ego. You protect your energy, not to isolate yourself, but to stay aligned with your purpose. When you truly accept that your peace is your responsibility, you stop waiting for others to apologize, to change, or to understand you. You stop needing the world to bend for your comfort. Instead, you rise above circumstances by mastering your inner world. You become the calm in the storm, the one who brings light even in darkness. And the best part? Peace is contagious. When you embody it, others feel it. Your energy becomes a sanctuary, not just for you, but for everyone who enters your presence. But it all starts with a decision: I choose peace, and I take full responsibility for keeping it. That's not just maturity, that's mastery. And in that mastery, you'll discover that the most powerful kind of peace is the kind no one can take away. It's easy to get lost in the moment, annoyed by a comment, hurt by someone's misunderstanding, frustrated by a delay, or weighed down by the small daily troubles of life. But Buddhism shows us a powerful practice: to step back and remind ourselves of the bigger picture. What upsets us today often won't matter in a week, a year, or even a lifetime. Peace is found in the bigger view. It's where you realize that most of what disturbs you is temporary and often unimportant in the wider flow of your life. When you learn to shift your focus from small details to the larger truth, from the surface to the soul, you stop giving power to the trivial and start living with deeper calm and clarity. Picture yourself looking at a single thread in a huge tapestry. If you only see that one thread, even a tiny flaw can appear enormous. But when you step back and see the full design, you realize that one small flaw doesn't take away from the beauty of the whole. Life works in the same way. When someone says something that offends you, ask yourself, will this really matter 5 years from now? Is it worth disturbing my peace? Most times, the answer will humble you. The feeling will fade, and the burden will lighten. In Buddhism, death and impermanence are often used as reminders to bring our focus back. This isn't to frighten you, it's to remind you of what truly matters. The Buddha once said, among all footprints, the elephant's is the greatest, and among all meditations, reflection on death is the greatest. Why? Because when you truly see that life is short and uncertain, you stop wasting energy on what doesn't support your growth, your peace, or your purpose. Instead, you begin asking deeper questions. What am I here to do? How can I show more compassion in this moment? Am I living in line with my higher self, or just reacting from my lower self? These questions lift you out of small thinking and bring you back to your true essence. The bigger picture also reminds you that everyone is carrying their own struggles. The person who snapped at you might be grieving. The one who ignored you may be lost in their own self-doubt. Everyone acts from the level of awareness they have, just like you do. When you remember this, you shift from judgment to compassion, from irritation to understanding. Another simple way to return to the bigger picture is through daily reflection or journaling. Each evening, ask yourself, what truly mattered today? What did I give too much emotional weight to? What will I choose to carry into tomorrow, and what will I let go of? This practice trains your mind to filter out the noise and focus on what matters. It makes you more mindful, more steady, and less reactive. When you remind yourself of the bigger picture, you also become more present. That may sound like a contradiction, but it isn't. You stop worrying about what's next or what already went wrong, and instead, you live this moment with clarity and purpose, knowing it has its place in the larger journey of your life. The ultimate bigger picture in Buddhism is awakening, freedom from suffering through wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. That's the real goal, not winning arguments, not proving yourself right, not getting even, but becoming so free within that nothing outside can disturb your peace. So, when you feel upset, frustrated, or out of balance, pause, take a breath, and remind yourself, this is just one page in my story, not the entire book. Recenter yourself, reconnect with your path, and move forward with the peace that comes only from seeing beyond the moment. Because when you live with the bigger picture in mind, you stop stressing over the small things and start becoming someone who views life through the eyes of wisdom, not through the lens of hurt. That's when you're truly unbothered. That's when you rise. In a world filled with noise, chaos, and constant emotional triggers, staying unbothered is not a passive act, it's a conscious practice. And Buddhism shows us a way, not to escape life, but to rise above its storms with grace and clarity. You've now discovered 7 powerful principles to guard your energy like a sacred flame, to find validation within, to respond instead of react, to let go of the need for others to fully understand you, to practice emotional detachment, to take complete responsibility for your peace, and to always keep the bigger picture in mind. These are not just abstract ideas, they are daily practices, small shifts in your mind, your breath, and your focus. At first, they may feel unfamiliar, but with time, they become a natural part of who you are. And the more you walk this path, the more your peace becomes unshakable, not because the world has changed, but because you have. So, take these teachings and apply them slowly, with patience. Let them sink in until they become part of your inner language. And remember, the most powerful person in any room is not the loudest or the strongest, but the one who stays calm while everything else is in chaos. May you walk with wisdom, live in peace, and let nothing disturb your inner stillness. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to Wisdom and Wealth for more insights on living a richer, more meaningful life.